Hi guys, System Gaming here. Today we're going to be looking at an interactive horror story for FNAF 3 called Interactive Horror Story by Mr. Nightmare. Go check him out on YouTube. Sorry if I'm talking low, it's really late, so. But this is going to be like an hour-long interactive horror story, so let's get right into it. We'll wait for like one person to join. Hey, so we're going to be looking at this interactive horror story. Let's start
It's Friday night. You and your friend Jason are on your way to the Fazbear horror attraction at the local amusement park. Apparently they're getting it all set up for the Halloween season, so it's in kind of a demo stage right now. Your friend Jason tells you that it's supposed to be a standard haunted house type attraction, only themed to the Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria and the horrific events that occurred inside of that place.
If you have any comments, just tell me.
It's decorated with actual props from the place, which should be pretty cool.
Hey,
It's been 30 years since the place shut down, and yet rumors and theories about...
We're going to be looking at an interactive horror story called Visit the Fazbear's Fright, so we're going to be looking through the whole thing.
what happened there are still lurking the internet. You and Jason have been obsessed with the Freddy Fazbear mysteries your whole lives, and this seems like the closest the two of you will ever get to experiencing the supposed horrors that went on behind the closed doors of the restaurant. They even claim to have found an actual animatronic from the place in working condition, one that was more of an unused Scrappy. The two of you did a little research and found out that the animatronic was actually nicknamed Springtrap. There wasn't much else info on it, though. It seemed to be relatively unknown. You arrive at the park at around 11:30. You didn't want to come this late, but this is the only night that Jason would be available to go. The park closes at midnight, so you should have plenty of time to get through the attraction and leave. The two of you make your way over to the ticket stands and buy 2 tickets for the Fazbear horror attraction. Walking into the park, you can tell that the place is pretty dead, especially for a Friday night. Everybody must have left already. One of the few people walking by happens to be an employee, so you ask him where the attraction is, and he points you in the right direction. Moving in that direction, it doesn't take long until you see the big glowing sign reading Fazbear, the horror attraction, with a big illuminated Freddy Fazbear head moving its mouth up and down above the door.
Yeah,
The kid manning the entrance is so absorbed in his cell phone that when you hand him your tickets, all that comes out of his mouth is a barely audible grunting noise. Just a typical teenager who's clearly unhappy to have the Friday night shift. You assume the right to push open the door and step into the building. The door slowly closes behind you, and that's when you notice a big warning sign, stating that if anybody is to steal or move any of the props, they will be heavily fined. The floors are filled with fog, to the point where you can't even see your feet, and the walls are decorated with old posters and torn pictures, mostly just the restaurant's characters, poorly drawn by kids. It's creepy, but it's not scary, says Jason. You reassure him that it will get scarier.
I watched all the videos that you posted, Sonic Fazbear for all the characters, so...
Just walk through the doors anyway. Jason puts his hand on your back and nudges you forward to move down the hall. Moving forward reveals more props. Walls still covered with crumpled papers with poorly drawn pictures of the characters on them. Up ahead there's what appears to be a glowing jack-o'-lantern on the floor, but upon getting closer, you realize it's the head of Chica, one of the animatronic characters. Do you think that's the actual head? You ask. Yeah, it better be, he says. Is this really supposed to be scary? You admit the atmosphere does have a creepy feel to it, but so far, it's not scary. Hopefully it's building up to something good. Walking down a little more, the two of you come up to an intersecting hallway. You freeze in your tracks when you think you could hear something moving around the corner. It's probably just other people going through the attraction, says Jason. Do you really think we're the only people in here? Yes, I do actually, you tell him. Jason jokingly pushes you forward towards the corner, but as you turn your head, something screams and lunges towards you. You let out a shriek of terror and fall to your knees, only to realize it's just an old Freddy Fazbear costume. It's attached to some kind of remote handle in the wall. It's designed to scare people. You get back up on your feet to have Jason laughing in your face. Alright, you douche, it would have scared you too, you tell him. The remote rod holding the Freddy suit rolls back to hide the suit behind the corner. You walk up to it to get a closer look at it. It seems pretty genuine. You call Jason over to come feel it, but he doesn't respond. Jason? Jason, where are you? Hey, check this out. You turn around to see Jason in a room across the hall by some kind of arcade machine. You think it still works? He asks. No, of course not, you respond while approaching the room. Jason continues to fiddle with all of the buttons, hoping
Please watch the entire stream so we can actually interact with the story. Please watch the whole stream.
something will happen. Alright, let's keep going. Your heart skips a beat at the sight of a demonic face popping up on the screen of the game. You turn to see Jason's face, noticeably full of fear. Wow, that got me, he says. Let's keep going, it seems to be getting better. You keep walking down the halls, and suddenly you notice there's no more fog on the ground. They must have turned off the fog machines for whatever reason. They definitely paid attention to detail with the place. There are papers all over the walls, scattered across the floor, fake bloodstains on the tiled floor, even pipes and wires dangling from the ceiling to give it a broken down look. It almost feels as though it's the real restaurant. Of course, you wouldn't really know. As you keep moving down the dark hallway, preparing yourself for any more jump scares, you notice you can't hear another pair of footsteps behind you. You turn around. Jason's missing again. You call his name, but there's no response. You call louder, still no response. Where the hell did he go?
You are Withered Chica, Nightmare, and a couple other characters. I'm still casting Nightmare Mangle. Okay?
A sound comes from behind you, in the direction you are walking in. You turn back around to see the figure of a man down the hall. It's too dark to make out any features, but you know he's staring at you. The motionless figure of the man down the hall sends a chill down your spine, and you're too disturbed to try and rationalize the situation to think that maybe it could just be another park visitor. You move your leg back, about to begin walking backwards, but at that instant, the figure down the hall turns around and walks away into the darkness ahead. You're left standing there, not knowing what to think or do.
Okay, guys, tell me if I should turn around and find Jason or follow the man. Tell me which one in the chat, please. Okay, find Jason. One more person. How many people are on? Okay, find Jason.
You don't know who the hell that guy was, so maybe you shouldn't proceed alone. You turn around to go find Jason. You pass by the Freddy Fazbear costume again, and go back into the room with the arcade game. He's not in here. You call Jason's name again, this time so loud that there's a bit of an echo. That sound, it came from down the hall that you originally entered from. You leave the room and turn to walk back to the entrance where the sound came from. The red glow of the exit sign stands out in the dark. It seems as though it's providing more light than the main lighting. It must have gotten darker in here since you entered. The darkness only makes it that much harder to find the source of the sound. Forget it. You figure you should just go back outside and ask that kid if he saw Jason walk out. There's no other place he could be. It's literally a dead end from where you were when he disappeared. You grab the metal door handle and try to push it down, but it won't budge. It's been locked. You pound on the door and scream for the kid on the other side to open up. You do this for around a minute, but it proves pointless. The kid obviously left, and it seems there's no one else around to hear. You check your watch for the time, and just barely in the dim light, you can see that it's already 10 to midnight. They must be shutting everything down now. Damn it. The kid wasn't even paying attention. He probably doesn't even know that we came in here, you think to yourself. You try to rationalize. Okay, maybe the exit door is still unlocked, and the entrance door is only locked since they're not letting any more people in now. It's so obvious, the kid is waiting for us at the exit. All we have to do is make it through the attraction. But where the hell is Jason? Okay, so he most likely didn't leave the building. That just wouldn't make sense, because if he did leave, somebody would have been bound to have still been around by the time he started pounding on the door. You walk back down the first hall and to the corner, expecting the Freddy suit to pop out at you again. But it doesn't. Damn, they must have shut down most of the power already. That's why the fog stopped and the lights are getting dimmer. The remaining lights must be some kind of backup nightlight system. So he's not in the first hall. He has to be in that small room with the arcade somewhere. You walk back into that room, which is now completely pitch black. You take out your phone and turn on the flashlight, scanning the room. You continue to call Jason's name repeatedly with zero luck. You scanned the whole room. He's not in here. Only a bunch of props. Then while looking at your phone, it hits you. All you have to do is call Jason and ask him where he is. You quickly dial his number and put the phone up to your ear. It takes a few seconds for you to register what you're hearing. It's Jason's ringtone. It sounds like it's coming from above you. Flashlight's still on. You look up to see an air vent hanging open. The cell phone ringing is coming from up there. Maybe you could find something in here to climb on to reach the vent. The arcade game jumps to life, flashing the same disturbing face from before. But how? Isn't the power cut now? The idea of calling the police suddenly doesn't seem so bad. So you go back into the phone app, but you're not getting any more service. That makes no sense. The screen on the arcade machine switches from the face to a barely readable message. It says, "Leave him if you want to live." What the hell is going on?
Okay, guys, what should I do now? Find a way into the vents, or listen to the message and leave? Or what should I do? Find a way into the vents, or listen to the message and leave? Okay, find a way into the vents because the crappy phone guy tells lies. Listen to the... You know what? I think I'm gonna listen to the message. But if I die, then listen to the message, find a way into the vents. Which one should I do? Which one? I'll say listen to the message.
The arcade machine scares you out of the room. This place isn't natural. Something's going on in here. It's best you get the hell out. You run down the hall that you saw the man standing in. That has to be the direction of the exit. The lights flicker off completely, leaving your flashlight as the only source of light. You're in the same spot that the man you saw earlier was, but that doesn't stop you from continuing down the hall. Above your head, the air vents, something is crawling inside them. It has to be Jason. But what the hell is he doing up there? He has to be playing some kind of joke. That's the only explanation. You yell up at the vents that you're leaving the place now, and that if it's him up there, he better get out too. The bumping stops directly above your head. You yell that you're leaving now and continue down the hallway. You come into a room with a foxy head mounted on the wall, almost like a deer head. But you don't have time to admire it. You scan the room looking for the next route to take. There's a half-open door. It must lead to the exit path. You pull open the wooden door and shine the light into the room. The light reveals the same man from before, standing a few meters away. He begins to move towards you, and his features start to become more clear. He's wearing a purple suit and a yellow badge. It must be a security guard. Thank God. You call him for help, starting to explain the whole situation. But as he walks more into the light, you start walking backward in fear. This man is covered in blood, and his skin looks like it's been cooked or shocked to a crisp. Is this part of the attraction? You yell at him at the top of your lungs to stop, that this is serious and that you need his help, but he just keeps moving towards you. You notice the wounds and gashes on his arms and face, spilling out blood. It's too real. It's not part of the attraction. You turn around and sprint back down the hallway, back in the direction of the entrance. But when you pass the room with the arcade machine, you notice something hanging from outside the air vent. You enter the room and shine the light up to the air vent. You fall to your knees in horror, as Jason's lifeless corpse hangs from the air vent, head first. And above him is the face of the balloon boy, only a charred, decrepit version of it. It lets out a distorted laugh before you hear the door to the room slam shut. You shine the light over to reveal an animatronic rabbit-like creature that you've never seen before, standing by the door, staring right at you. And then you realize that's the animatronic that you read about, Springtrap.
Oh, are you kidding me? I died. You gotta be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Hold on. I'm gonna go back.
The arcade machine scared.
Come on. You died. Well, guys, I don't really know what to do now. I didn't think we were gonna die. If you want to hear a different side of the story, please check my next live stream. I'm not ending this one. We're just gonna play different videos.
I'm in Utah right now, looking to find the old Freddy Fazbears Pizzeria place. The place closed down many years ago, but the building still stands. Actually, it used to be a really popular family pizza restaurant with those singing robot mascots on the stage. It's a whole long story behind this place. In 1987, there was the first restaurant that opened up. Well, the first that I know of. They had a whole ensemble of robotic characters on and off stage. And for the time, the technology and design was so amazing that it attracted people from all over the world. Then apparently, one of the robots bit out somebody's frontal lobe. Yeah, I know, it's creepy as hell. So that place had to close, and eventually the building was torn down. And then, many years later, there was a reopening for a much smaller and lower budget restaurant, featuring much more withered and outdated animatronic characters. It didn't bring in enough business, so that eventually closed down as well. There have actually been rumors going around that there's going to be some kind of grand reopening for a new Freddy Fazbear restaurant sometime in 2017. That would be a major shock, considering the history this place has had. So, I'm heading to the Freddy Fazbear restaurant building that's still standing right now. I'm driving down right now. Wow, this is a really quiet town. Hang on, I'm gonna stop and ask these people if they know where this place is. They're the first people I've seen for miles. Strangely enough, they knew exactly where the place is. They said that they never went inside though, so, oh well. It should be coming up on the right. Am I supposed to turn here? Ugh, alright, I hope I'm remembering this correctly. Oh shit, there it is. Hang on, I'm pulling into the parking lot now. Alright, I'm standing outside the building right now. It's in just a regular strip mall kind of parking lot. But all these other stores look closed too. Yeah, I wouldn't want to open a business in this town. I tried looking in through the windows, but I can't see anything inside. It's getting pretty dark out, but I still don't want to take the risk of getting caught. So, I'm gonna walk around the back to see if there's a place I can break in unnoticed. I'm at the back of the place right now. There's a door back here, right by the dumpsters. I doubt it's gonna be unlocked, but let me try. Wow, it's unlocked. That's creepy as hell. Whew, man, it's dark in there.
Okay guys, this will be the end of the stream. Please give this video or the live stream a big fat like. Please subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't already. I love you guys. Bye.